sorry, getting back to the school library. So would they, when they request a book, and I have not played with this at all with the school.
Oh, that's no problem.
But when they request it, are they putting their ID number then? I mean, what are they putting in?
Barcode number, their SELCO barcode number.
For Rochester School, that is also their ID number.
Sorry?
Don't you do something different for
Well, we have just student IDs.
Yes.
It's your ID number.
It's the ID number. Perfect.
They're the exception to the system. They use their student ID numbers.
Yeah.
So yes, and then they need their PIN as well. I don't know if you give them that. I don't even know what your PIN is.
I don't even know what our PIN is. Well, we'll have a discussion later.
We also have the added to my list option here. You can create a list of books that go along with your account. This is similar to the My Discoveries that we have in Aqua Browser. As I've mentioned before in previous meetings, it is unfortunately not possible for us to transfer anything that exists out there into these new ones because they're completely different vendors. In fact, the My Discoveries isn't even through Aqua Browser. That's someone else entirely. But the upside is that patrons are still able to access their My Discoveries through any other Aqua Browser catalog. It doesn't even have to be ours. So if they don't get stuff moved over before Aqua Browser disappears, which who knows how long the overlap period will be if there is one. I'm not quite sure at this point. If it's always an option to access it through someone else's Aqua Browser catalog, and we do have several links to those, some that still exist that we can share out at a later date.
This is Donovan. On the 29th, when we launch the rollout, we will be putting some text in the Aqua Browser catalog to warn patrons that My Discoveries is going to be going away, and they'll need to manually move any of that catalog once we launch. Actually, I don't know what we're going to do on the 29th, but we will be putting some information out there. But as Tyler said, if they don't get it done before the launch, we will have some links up that allow them to go to some other Aqua Browser catalog where they can log into My Discoveries and still get their stuff.
Okay, one other little feature I'd like in search is the fact that you can now do null searches. So I can put nothing in there, hit search, and lo and behold, I have holdings for everything in Zumbrota Public Library appearing here, and I can filter them out through the facets. Previously in Aqua Browser, you had to do special :all to be able to do something like that. Okay, Cheryl, I don't have my document in front of me. Do I have anything else that I'm covering right now? Or am I switching over to you?
Search with you, target, facets, display. Did you want to do my account and ebooks, or do you want to do that after I go through my?
I'll let you go through your stuff first.
I have it written on my hand. Low tech, low tech. No mouse, no mouse. Okay, so I get to show you the cool stuff. So I'm going to show you this profile that's kind of my sandbox profile, so don't think too much of it.
And guess who it belongs to?
Yes, it's the library I use. So this is what I've done with my library profile. This links back to the Zumbrota website, that kind of thing. You can link right to those plugins, that kind of thing here. That pulls off your website. This is all just HTML on either side, so it's pretty easy to go in and adjust. But I'm going to show you what so this is search field here, right? And then this is what's called search limits or search targets. So if I did a search right now, I would pull up all 49,000, I think it is, bids, of Zumbrota. And if I want to limit by something, I can create search limits or search targets. For example, I'm sitting at Zumbrota, I want a DVD to watch tonight, so I can just search Zumbrota's DVDs by creating a target. So I've got all 5,229 DVDs. Or let's say I don't care if I have to request DVDs, you can search this way. And these fields, these search targets, are all built on MARC and the MARC record. There are a few things you can do with item records. in the item record fields, but it's extremely limited for Horizon, even more so than Symphony. So you can do a search for all DVDs, 26,419, or just one location. I'm working on trying to get, this search isn't working, so I'm working on it. This would be pulling by iType, but I'm not entirely 100% that that's going to work. So here's Zembroda's large print. And yeah.
One question, please. Can you also then further limit by items only currently available?
No, this is a Symphony thing that I accidentally turned on yesterday, and I have yet to figure out how to turn off. So I will figure that out by the 29th.
That button will never work.
I don't think it will ever work for Horizon.
I wouldn't say never. We're hoping eventually to get that for Horizon, but it won't be working by April 1st.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as they make that available, we will implement it, though.
So yeah, that's what comes up. But yeah, that's why I was playing with it. I was trying to make, because that would be great, because that's how Overdrive works. So here are your 1,560 large prints. Here are all the large prints across the entire region. So again, these are pulling on MARC data. Just hit search and you get them all. You can do a lot of limiting with these targets. The other thing are these facets underneath the search limit here. These are our facets. Each profile, I believe, is limited to 10, right? Not, I'm thinking 9, but I believe
it says 10 in documentation, but I've seen more up here. I'm not sure.
So they say it's limited to 10, but perhaps we can add more. And we're still cleaning up some of these facets because of how it renders MARC data. But these facets are really neat. I think my favorite part is let's do a search for, I know there's 4 in other, and that's driving me crazy. I have to go figure out what those 4 are and fix them. So
it's a great show. It's all sorts of cataloging work.
I know. I can see all sorts of errors in here in different ways, and so it's keeping us very busy. So here we have all our bids, and I'm going to limit that to just Broda's, assuming my limit works. Logged in as Tyler. All right, so here you go. So let's say now you wanted all your DVDs. You can hit this and hit include. You can also exclude things, and that's kind of nice. I don't want Disney DVDs, so I'm going to go down here and exclude the Disney DVDs. Most of this data is being pulled from the variable length tags in the MARC record, but there are few areas that are being pulled from the fixed field, like the format facet is coming straight from the fixed field. It does not look at our GMD at all. And you can also expand the facets so that you can see sort of all of them, whereas Aqua Browser had a tendency to limit you after so many. So this is great for those of you using reading level and you wanting to do that range reading level. There's still not an exact way to do range, like just search by range, but you can do a search, and I don't have it in this profile, but you can do searches. We have the 3 major reading levels, all have facets, and you assign facets by profile. So you can do searches for reading level and then include sort of the numbers you want that fall within that range. So it's kind of a workaround, but it's better than what we have now in Aqua Browser. So I'm kind of excited about the facets because we have a lot more control over them, whereas before it was a lot of, hey, Aqua Browser, will you do this? And then after 5 emails in 3 weeks, we might have something sort of working. So let me see if there is a reading level facet. No, not on this profile. Probably the default, just to show you. So what else am I talking about? Search targets, facets, and then displays. So we'll do a search here for, we'll do cats. We like cats more than dogs. Usually I do dog. So here's a search. Here are 7,000 records that have cat somewhere in the MARC record, because I just did all fields. And it could be in the series, it could be in the subject. Here is a reading level. This is the reading count. Here's Lexile. I'm not sure if we have AR on this one, so it's probably at the bottom. Yeah, there it is. So there's AR. Let's say, you know, my kids in early 4s, I can hit include, and then it'll refine my searches by that range. And of course, you can hit expand all and see more and more numbers. So there's 61 books in that early 4.0 range for cats. All right. So that's facets and searches. Quick, Tyler covered some of the stuff on displays, but this is called the search results display. I call it the hit list. In the iPad, it does have that fantastic item level thing for your location. If we were on Symphony, we could do that, but we're not, so we can't. Not right now. Maybe in the future. So I tease you. I just knew it was going to be a question, so I thought I'd say it. This is the detail display, and we have a lot of control, not utter control, over what can show in these areas.
We want more.
Yeah, we want more. I already have a list of enhancement requests for SELCO, including things like this, giving us more control over a few things here. Okay, do you want me to talk about rooms now, or do you want to talk about your stuff, and then we'll come back to rooms?
You can go on.
Okay, I'm going to show you rooms. So Tyler alluded to them. I got to go back to my sandbox profile here. So rooms are exciting. Rooms are basically websites embedded in your profile that can be derived or limited, can have derived searches or limited in whatever ways you want. So I've been working a lot on a mystery room because I sort of envision a room of varying genres, and I know Donovan has talked about this too. But this is just something I threw together this week. It does take a little bit of time, but it's HTML, and the great thing about the rooms is you can have predefined searches or enforced searches. So right now, this room will only search mystery materials. I made the limit so that it is looking for subject headings that begin with detective and mystery. So it's looking for detective and mystery stories, it's looking for detective and mystery novels, or whatever those other subject headings that I'm forgetting, detective and mystery films. There's a juvenile one in there. So it is only looking for the things across all libraries, right, that have a subject heading that begins with detective and mystery. You could, of course, limit that to a location if I just want Zimbrota materials, because I'm at Zimbrota and I really want to read or watch a mystery. You can limit it that way and get the 5,000. You can limit it to just large print and do it that way. I don't know how that opened. Okay.
That trackpad.
Yeah. Let's go back to the mysteries room. So where I would like to go with this, and this is still in the works, is that this would be a scrolling carousel, because you can put some JScript things in here. Not that I know JScript. So it would kind of look like this. So it should remind you of Netflix, hopefully.
Or the SELCO website.
Or the SELCO website. Now, yep, there's a carousel in there. And these images are pulling from Syndetics, and you would be able to click on one and be brought to the title in Enterprise and make your request.
Oh, so there you go. There's an exact one.
Yeah, this is an exact. There was only one bib that matched to this ISBN search, so you're brought right to it, which, yeah, is a nice little feature. So eventually I would like to get these to do a carousel thing and go that way. So you can do all sorts of things with your rooms. Hopefully your creativity is going wild. I like my little find in your library and from book to screen section over here, which are just a bunch of pre-created searches that I just did, and then I saved the link. So it's not really all that complicated.
One use for this could be your community reads program, and then you would just highlight related materials to that program for that duration.
Yeah.
And you have to do the weird Aqua Browser workarounds to get the URL anymore.
So yeah, you can create a room to do a lot of things. So I created sort of this mystery genre room, and I threw all sorts of stuff in there. This is the predefined search that I made for the Sookie Stackhouse novels. But you could click on, Sookie Stackhouse was made into True Blood, the HBO series. So you could do a whole section, you could do a whole room just on any of these sections over here, a whole from book to screen room. And we could figure out a way to sort of limit that search. Or you could just create a long list, because this doesn't have to be 3 sections of the page. It can be 1, or it can be 2, or it can be 3. So if you don't have 3 areas you want to fill. And see, I just threw over this image. This is all just HTML. And I just loaded this in, and you get the full schedule of the tour. Maybe you have an event going on at your library that you want to highlight with other subsections.
That was last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was I was doing a mystery room, and I remembered the mystery tour, so I threw it on there. So, and you can, of course, I created some searches here and just linked them in. And it just pulls up all William Kent Kruger items. Let's see, what else can I show you in the room?
Can a room go to a room? Can a room go to a room? Like when you were going to the Sookie Stackhouse thing, instead of having it go to the hit list, could it take you to another room where you'd preloaded those so it looked like it was on a carousel?
You mean link from one room to another?
Yeah.
Yes, because they're just basically links. So like here is a link to another room that I made. Mystery movies, I don't really have anything on there. It was more just to show you what a grandchild room looks like, basically. So it just gives you a new link. So you can then use that to link directly there. So this could link to that other room. Actually, I think it does link to that other room. No, it doesn't. I linked it to a search. But you should be able to just link from one room to another, but I haven't actually tested it out. So, but yeah, you can link things. And I had to throw in some cat mysteries because I like cats. So I had a predefined search guide. So it,
This would be a good time to remind you that we are actually running out.
Okay, I'm going.
Perfect way to cut you off.
I think don't you all agree with me, though, that for on the 29th, that kind of specificity really gets you to showing the level of detail that you can have in a room. And when you start thinking about this as to what you can do with community reads or summer reading program or the 4th grade unit, or the English class unit or the freshman high schoolers, I think there's great potential for this room.
Okay, they're exciting.
No more cats.
No more cats.
I've got just a couple of slides to show you, but I'll make them really fast, and then we'll be done. Okay, so I mentioned that we were going to be gathering user feedback in the 2 months, February and March. We're going to do that in a couple of different ways. We are creating a Google group, which will work like a traditional web forum, where we will ask users at the online libraries to put comments and suggestions about the website. It will be open to all library staff. We are going to prohibit anonymous comments because we want to know who's giving us all these wonderful ideas and feedback. And the coolest thing is you can all comment on each other's posts. So if someone posts a brilliant suggestion and you think that's a great idea, you can weigh in. And I would certainly encourage you to do that and put your own post that says, yeah, Sherry's right, you should do that, or something along those lines. We will be launching that web forum on the 29th, and we will show it off in some detail at that time. Alongside the user feedback that we'll be asking for, we are going to carry out usability testing. We're going to use the same methodology, the rocket surgery method that we've used for our website testing, with some modifications, mostly just to streamline the process a little bit. We are going to conduct sessions with both library staff members, users, and members of the general public. We're going to be asking for some partner libraries to help us out with that, to actually host the testing and help us get patrons lined up. But SELCO staff will come out and actually conduct that testing. So we hope to get a lot of different kinds of feedback on this website. And then finally, there's training. Our thinking about training right now is we will probably not do traditional classroom training ahead of time, although we reserve the right to change our mind about that depending on the comments that we get from everybody as we go through the comment period. But right now we're thinking of doing something very similar to what we did with Aqua Browser, which is lots of short online video segments that illustrate specific pieces of functionality in the catalog, how to search, how to make my list, things like that, with companion documents for those who would rather read than watch a video. Once we launch, we will offer roadshows for libraries as needed, much like we do ebooks now, and those can be customized to the needs of that particular library. And someone will come out and work with your staff. We will also work with patrons, which we do occasionally do for ebooks as well. So if you want us to come out and do something like that, we're certainly open to that possibility. We will do those as needed. And then probably the May users group meeting will set aside a good chunk of time to follow up on this and offer any kind of follow-up or refresher training that might be needed. So just to show very quickly, find my tab now. I don't know how well you can see this, but this is the enterprise feedback group in Google. Right now it has exactly one member, and that's me. But when we get to the 29th, we will open this up to all online library users. Right now there's one comment, and you probably can't see this very well, but it says right here that there are 3 posts in that comment. So there is the first original post, which says, "It's awesome. Don't change the name." Let me get my bar here. I'm having a little trouble with my scroll bar. I apologize.
I like to wipe your
That was the testing.
That was our test group where we were testing this concept to see if it would work. That one has 4 or 5 members, Tyler, Cheryl, myself, and Rachel. And we were trying to find things that were near and dear to all of our hearts that we could talk about. So it ended up being beer and cats.
You don't like cats or beer?
Yeah, Tyler wasn't fond of either one, so we were a little exclusionary. Below that first post, you can see then there are some secondary comments. These are all from me. So this is me having a conversation with myself on an online forum.
Yeah, make it so.
Yeah, just to kind of give you some idea of what this will look like. You do get email notifications whenever a post is made or a comment. So hopefully that will help people not have to remember to keep coming to this website. We will be doing some online SELCOtv video on the group as well, how it's used to kind of help people get through that. And we'll talk about it quite a bit on the 29th. That's what we have.
I do have one more thing I'd like to show off, just quick, because it's kind of awesome. Do you have your chat open in Google?
I don't use Google Chat, so I don't.
Or eChat in general.
The enterprise, do a search for Pride and Prejudice and limit it to ebook. This is where you're going, right, Tyler?
Yeah, go to the default profile. You're doing all your things in Cheryl through.
Why don't you take over?
This is worth staying like 30 seconds for, I promise.
It has to do with cats.
No cat.
We do have a technician coming out tomorrow to look at the phone line, by the way.
And how do you want it? The formatting?
Yep, format ebook.
Okay. I hope it's this one. Yes, we do have one-click downloading available.
Woohoo! Download straight from Horizon.
Oh,
For
that
Enterprise.
is stupendous.
Yeah, that was worth the wait right there.
That was another feature that came along with the item-specific requesting. So we're very happy about that.
Oh, that's amazing.
What are we downloading? Those are
ebooks. Those are ebooks.
Oh, good.
Instead of having to go all the way out to Overdrive and deal with
Log in
that.
there and come back. Since I'm already logged in here, I can download it with one click. Well, 2. 3 if I need to change formats.
Well, 3 if you count the format.
But no going out to Overdrive and then coming back from Ohio.
And once again, that's for public libraries.
Actually, we also have Project Gutenberg ebooks loaded to all of your profiles. So there is a vast selection of ebooks on all of them right now.
Older ones.
This one is also open library.
This one in particular is Open Library, so it's on all profiles.
Okay. And so all the Project Gutenberg books, yeah.
And then
Using the ebooks on what portal, what are schools, I'm using Mac and Via right now with all of my high school students.
Yep.
So what would they use to access?
How do they exactly?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we're using Mac and Via.
They're all,
Their
they've
app.
got their own.
Yeah, I just took it upon myself to
Or
do.
do we do some sort of network platform?
They have their own e-readers.
It's not, it's like Overdrive, but it's not Overdrive.
Right, it's back.
We will get, that I think is more complicated than we have.
That's just fine. I just have to ask.
Plus Michael's got a special grant from the state library.
Signed up.
But no, this is different.
I understand that.
This is
But
their
we
own.
need to have that conversation as well.
For anything that isn't one of these open libraries, Project Gutenberg or Overdrive, it will work the same way as it does in Aqua Browser. I think that'd be correct.
I don't know, what did you say?
I don't know, is what I'm saying, but I'm saying for anything that isn't Project Gutenberg Open Library or Overdrive, it'll probably act exactly the same as it does in Aqua Browser, however you do it there.
So Aqua Browser takes you to the Project Gutenberg page, and
No,
then
but I
you
mean,
have
for Mac and VF, they're in Aqua Browser.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't ever click on those.
Well, Monica, you have a question?
And this is, so what's the quick and easy answer for when a patron says, we just switched to Aqua Browser, which we haven't, but they're going to say that. Why are we switching again? So what's the quick and easy answer?
the quick and easy answer is because it's been 4 years since we switched to Aqua Browser, and this catalog offers a number of features that Aqua Browser did not.
Okay.
That's a very short version.
And hopefully the transition to this one won't be as drastic as when we moved to Aqua Browser, everything was 100% different. This is better, but it's still relatively similar.
We're going to try to keep this looking sort of halfway similar to Aqua Browser to help ease that transition.
Well, we have reached the end of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut the questions short here. We'll have the user group meeting. There'll be plenty of opportunity to ask more questions to get more in-depth into it. Are there any announcements?
Is the next meeting going to remain tentative, or are we going to keep it booked for February?
What does everyone want to do? Do we need to have a meeting to talk about Enterprise at all, or?
I don't know.
But I would feel comfortable if you would keep it tentative on your calendars. Let's see what kind of positive energy or overwhelming questions come out of the 29th. And if we have to rethink anything, this is the group that's supposed to be our sounding board. So why don't we see how the 29th goes?
Just send out an email to the in-depth meeting or
Right.
canceling.
And I'm hoping that, Tyler and Cheryl still have 2 weeks to get some of the things they couldn't show you today, plus they'll have more time. that by the time we get to the 29th, I think they're going to have such a polished project that you will not feel that you need to come back, because what you're going to hear on the 29th from the 2 meetings will be so much excitement that you can have your Thursday afternoon back. Okay. All right, we're done. Good. I'm done. I appreciate the battery. Good job.
Thanks, everybody.